I've only got about half an hour because I'll spend the whole week at Chelsea, so I'm going to get some stuff ready. So I'll be with you for half an hour, but I do apologise for leaving so early tonight.
No problem, thank you, sir. All right. Right, before we could go, if I can ask everybody to mute, unless them God, Benny. Right, everybody got that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. Right, evening all. Thanks for turning up. Funny's been, weather's been funny this week. Up and down as normal. It's potluck aid. Right from last week, somebody mentioned, if you remember, I did my worm water butt and I had worms in the bottom. I think you, Suzanne, mentioned there might be phageing in the gutter. No, clean as whistle. Cleaned out regular. So God knows how they got in. Right, seal and eel. I've had this a while, as you can see. That's when I do my shopping at Wilco. When they put the 75% off sticker on. I know I went down there and I was on it. And her rings me up when her puts the stickers on. That's a good one. My peach tree. I said it ain't much cop and they says do a scrape test. So I did. They said there's a bit of greenish, alright, still fighting them. So I just I want to put a bit of seal and eel on it. But this is solid, so I just put it in a cup of boiling water. That makes it nice and supple. Then I've sealed in there. I'm still fighting them people. Right, my raspberries. As you can see, they've come through. Some better than others. So now I'm going to chop the old canes off. Now them have come through. These were planted in the last year. So they were chopped. Tulip still drying out on the cover. My last wine, which I demi-john, he's bubbling away nicely. There's no frothing coming out the top, so that's worked well. Then we're on just in case he does over bubble. Right, I've got one vent with the automatic window. That's in the cold end of the, well, it's all cold end of the greenhouse now. I ain't had no heat on for 2 weeks. So this was last Sunday night, sorry, before I did the last talk. So this has been unclipped, as you can see there. The screws are still inside, don't lose them. And I just open this up. Oh, Brenda, could have took your drawers in first. So I'm going to take that out and screw this back in. So I've got no heat on. So I've got 2 automatic vents going, and there we go. And the drawers are nearly dry. Good job, Brenda, of course, of these. Aquilegia, love them. These are some Boston colours. I'm saving the seed off these and all. This was little last week. Bougainvillea. Love them. We'll come on to that one later on. Hydrangeas, they got them as well. So we lost one. So these were nice, decent sizes, as you can see. And that's where the chaps go in there. This is up the left hand side of the garden. I tied him up because I knew the size of the blooms, once you get rain on them or water, then the weight of that is going to snap them off. So I have tied him up as well. The cane is just pushed in behind that. Get him a good waiter in. There you can see the cane now. So he should settle in nicely. Right, last week, this was Sunday after the Zoom. I don't know how much I missed of this, but I've come in quick. But I love this. Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration. This reminds me of Earl's Court when I used to do the Royal Tournament. That was brilliant down there. They had all this stuff. And the year I did it, it's got to have been 75, 74, 75, something like that. But not long after that, it stopped altogether. I don't know, it was, I was running out of money or whatever. But there's yours truly. Let's have a closer inspection. There he is. But that was brilliant. Enjoyed it. In the 12 years I travelled the world, majority of the countries that we went to, love the Brits, and that we had a queen. Right, movie talk. This was in Plymouth. This was last Monday. I met John Murphy down Taunton, just off the motorway, luckily. And I met him in a Toby Inn, just off the M5. Parked up and he took me to his allotment site, which is here, Hamilton Allotments. Nice and flat. Quite a big site. But compared to our site, which slopes both ways, this was beautiful. And the gate was here. Obviously, we just walked in. There is our John. And the first thing we come across is the smell of these. Sweet peas, scented sweet peas. Beautiful. The display was fantastic. Right, John's plot. Well, one of John's plots. This is his first quarter in his fruit lines, i.e. he's got long blackberries, gooseberries, josterberry, boysenberry, tayberry, loganberry, normal blackberry, goji berry, apple and cherry. He loves his fruit, obviously. John's greenhouse is Nick Blake. You would love him because he experiments with everything. He's very knowledgeable. I wish he could get his brain around, although he can't get the bloody signal for the internet. But he'll get it one day. But solar panels and everything. This is for watering system. For his strawberries there, as we can see. You got a strawberry testing foam box. Just about make that out. The next one. Yeah. And you got a fountain pump spraying the roots. And this is a 20 quid solar powered kit. That one there. So that is just spraying these roots here. It's trolling everything. And this is his rock wall blocks made from stone. These are his fuchsia cuttings, which obviously it works. And there's the proof, because the roots are coming out. Give me a load of them and always a good lad. Right, having a tour. This is his goji plant, Chinese superfruit with energy super feed. Takes 6 years to fruit. Probably why many people don't bother, or do they know when they put them in? A couple of years they ain't got nothing, then might be it. John is trialling this plant in many different ways. The leaf is edible. The canes could be bashed into willow. Cape gooseberry, golden. This is John's favourite. Well, he's got quite a few favourites actually. It looks tropical, it grows wild, floppy but a beaut. John is making 3 greenhouses, a metre high, 2 deeper, to house this plant. John's pride and joy is peach. Just about make him out there. John Shedby blew away, so he is now back in his rocking chair, barbecuing. The peach loves barbecue smoke. Correct. Lisa, just next door to him, as you can see her there. She's got 5 plots all the way down to there. Was on her knees 9 hours a day. John's kettle is bigger than Lisa's watering can. So I asked him for a write-up for all the photos. He bung that in. There's her end plot. Nice bit of colour there. Beach Grove last night. These was in there and all. Patrick had the market plots for beans, spuds and onions. This was Patrick's tool. Perfect for just pulling along, and it earths up both sides. As you can see, his taters. And that one was a watering system, obviously catching the water off there. Taps on the bottom, so you just dug it all. And you can fill your stuff up from there. This was the end plot we just had a curve through at the end. And this is a gravity fed watering system as well. As you can see there, tanks up there for these toms. Somebody's strawberry bed. Some good plots down there. That one was full of fruit, which we'll come on to now. So these are in large pots. Obviously it's a soil level, as you can see there, for a good setup. And these are in a couple of feet cemented in, obviously, to take the weight of the wires once all the fruit starts growing. And he gave me a load of goodies to come back on. John, you're my star. A brilliant meeting up with you. Good little break for me going down to Plymouth. Right, this was in. Let's get back to me. I booked into the Burator Inn. This was down for me be talking Plymouth. This is the room they give me. I took a photo, sent it to the gaffer, and it says 3 bunks. I says yes, dear. Took another photo of beanbags. It says if they've got an adjoining door, which they had here, it says they'll put you in the bloody kids' room. Or Bennett. And they had. Meaning, they wore a chair. So to get my shoes on in the morning, I just sit on the floor. And you rode up. Less than 5 minutes from the Burator, I went to this couple's house who organised the talk and did me a tea. So I had me a shave and a shower in the hotel, legged it down to see these. And while the tea was brewing, I looked around their garden at the house. It is a proper old village, one road down, quiet and peaceful. All these was on a front garden. They did tell me the names, has got a memory I ate. This is his back garden right up the corner, and he does his own bamboo canes. He started flogging them now at a good rate, make a bloody bomb. They had 2 compost piles. They did break down, as you can see there. He had a fruit cage. You can see he's got a decent sized back garden, and that's his leaf mould. Don't recognise that. That's the view he's got from his patio. Get out. It's just down the lane. There's just houses one side, and they've got all that there. Obviously the Dartmoor. I tried to stop coming down to get some pony crab. Couldn't. That's one side of the garden. And that's looking out of the back room, back window. I should have took a photo of the tea they get us. It was like a chicken stew. We got everything. And it was Boston, 2 lots side job, just to be polite. And then this, look at this. Rhubarb crumble, clotted cream, Gordon Bennett. And then I followed them down, because that's their car there. There's mine, because I've got to unload all their cogs. From their house to this place, bottom of the same road, just round the corner. 3 minutes and we was there. So the hotel, their place, and the venue set up, brilliant. Movie Parish Hall, got down there in about 40 minutes. That's just going into the side here, and Boozer straight opposite. But because it's a quaint little village, meaning there ain't many people about, it doesn't open on a week night. Don't forget, this is Monday night. He was just out walloping these, was staying just for something to do. So I just drink at the burrator, but he only opens on a weekend. So that one day worked. Setting up, nice big screen, that's what I like. And it's surprising how many turned up to say it was in the middle of bloody nowhere. But that was me. Right, good talk. I enjoyed it, I did. This is back in the burrator. So it's Nick Hall, there's some good names about here. They've got, because the hotel is used for hikers mainly, and because it was the Monday after the weekend, obviously, everybody was there the weekend. They've had all the crisps, nuts, bloody scratchings, everything now to nibble at. So I had 1 pint. I thought, sod that. I had 3 packets of biscuits in my room. Got some in bottles of cider, which is John Guinness. So I ate them and drunk these. Breakfast in the morning, like my breakfast. First time I've had taters for breakfast. It was alright. I took them. I mean, I like my stuff cooked. But that was like a bloody scratching. When I got home, I think it was just over 3 hours to get home. 3.5 to get down. And it was uphill coming home and all. Couldn't work that out. This is what John Guinness. It's like coming back off holiday. That bag was just to read the ingredients. That's what he uses. One of his mixes. And he gave me Cape Guzgo. He's a good lad. And this mug. Already told in the bottom. I don't know if that's for tea. Well, I'm using it for tea or for cider. Special mix virgin peach substrate. If anybody wants to read through that gum, you can have a nose when it's on YouTube. But he swears by it. Right, our first speaker, Nick from Chard. Nick, I would have loved that, John.
Evening. Yeah, I'm going to go and see John. I spoke to him on Messenger in the week. I'm going to pop down and see him. He's only quarter of an hour away.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, crack on, I suppose.
All yours, Nick.
These photos are all a bit random, really. Sent them to Mick, so I'll just explain through them. So this is a Polytunnel. That's 18 by 30. Strawberries just coming in, tomatoes growing up. Just a sort of overview of the Polytunnel. Lots of stuff growing, but some more pictures to show you. It's one of the aces I bought a couple of years ago, just out in the garden. It's a very late showing one. It's only been, I don't really understand them very well, but it only went into leaf about probably 3-4 weeks ago. Next one, Mick. So this is my orchard. I've got eating apples, cooking apples, a crab apple there for pollination, and at the top you can't see it. I've got a big trampoline, and there's a summer house beyond that. Can't see it. Next one. This is I've never grown these before, but I decided to. They're called celosia. So I'm growing about 20 of them. They look really. I can't remember who sent me. Someone sent me the seeds. I think it was Nick Pengelly, who owns Just Seeds. and they come up like they look like dusters when the flowers come up. Lots of, but anyway, I'm growing them.
Yeah.
All from seed.
I used to grow them down the old house. I've heard of these since you've just said. We still love them. You
Yeah,
don't
so
see them that much.
Yeah, so I got about 20 of those growing. We'll see what happens with those.
Yeah.
So everything I've got, all flower-wise, is all from seed. It's my first rose of the year, a yellow one. Just took a picture of it a few days ago. So there's the polytunnel looking from the front to the back. You can see down the centre there's tomatoes. There's about 50 tomato plants, Akron and Sweet Millions, Gardens Delight. And I've got some tomatoes growing in the quad grow, although I'm not using very many of them. And then on the right there's leeks and lettuce and beetroot. And on the left there's French beans, chilies, and the tomato plants on the left are off a 9.4 pound tomato. So I'm growing some big ones, taking cuttings off them as well. Next one, mate. Tell a lie, didn't grow these from seed, picked these up from Tesco, to be fair. They were cheap. I think they were at £2.50 for 12. But yeah, next one, mate. So this is one of the beds. I've got dahlias in there, some sweet corn, courgettes, and beyond that I've got some large cabbages that are doing very well, and some runner beans down the bottom, and asparagus at the front, which is just finishing now, letting the plants grow on now. Next one. Oh, sorry, the compost bins. So I've got 3 compost bins there. You can see the big bags of vermiculite. I got them very cheap. You won't believe it. I paid £1 for each bag of that, and I had 12 bags. I got it off. It's a company that read Arga cookers. So they used to use it as insulation, and this company converting them into electric cookers. So not very far from me. I picked that up £1 a bag. 3 compost bins, which I you know what we do with compost. Next one. So there's a greenhouse. So I've got tomatoes left, right. The ones on the right are Sainsbury's finest tomatoes. I took the seed out of them. My wife will not eat my tomatoes, believe it or not. She only likes Sainsbury's finest. So I saved the seed off them through the winter, and they're growing well. And there's some mini munch cucumbers at the back. Next. Coleus from seed. I've got 3 or 4 different coleus going there, looking good. They're going to go in some big pots at the front of the house. Next. So that's the big tomatoes. You can see how stocky they are. And cucumbers at the back. Next. Right, this is giant cucumber. This off a 36-inch cucumber off Graham Barrett. Great bloke, good grower, grows some really big pumpkins. So I've got 4 of them. Set different dates of germination. So I'm hoping I'm going to get myself and that's set in an air pot. You tend to get a lot of air pruning, a better root structure in an air pot. Next one. Again, just flowers. And next one, mate. There's another angle of the sort of growing area. So I've got onions in the middle, red and white, and then going up through, I've got courgettes, broccoli, cabbage. On the right, I can't remember the name of the cabbage, but they're an Italian variety that I thought I'd try this year. And the top bed has got various stuff in, all sorts really. Beetroot, celery, yeah. Next one, mate. There's some beetroot in the polytunnel. That's ready to pick, so that will come out next week. And in goes, I'll put in some horse manure, work that in, and then I'll be putting some big cucumbers in there and maybe a few more beetroot. Some spring onions in there as well. So that's a dahlia bed with peas on the right, sweet peas. There's a honeysuckle there at the top on the left. And then at the bottom, some sweet peas that grows up through that trellis. So that should make a good show. Various different dahlias from sort of 1/4 of a metre up to 1.2 metres. Next one, mate. More coleus. Next one. So onions, this is in a 14 bite. You've probably seen the pictures before. Doing very well this year. Really pleased with them. Probably about 2 weeks ahead of where I should be, but there's some good onions in there. Growing very, very well. Next one, mate. Another picture of the onions. You can see sort of size-wise by the can of Heineken. I'm not feeding it Heineken. But yeah, so they're, I think they're about 19.5 inches around now by about 18 inches high. They're probably up around the 7, 8, probably about 7 or 8 pounds now. I'm hoping they'll do well. Let's hope for a monster at Harrogate. Next one, mate. More coleus, different varieties. Next one. So this is my stock onions in the Polytunnel, just pushing the seed head out. So that will be some seed stock in the Polytunnel. A bit early, but it doesn't matter. As long as I get the stock, I don't really care. So those are about 2 meters high now. Next one, mate. Big tomatoes again with cucumbers, a few peppers, chilies. Next one, mate. Don't tell me what these are. My wife knows. I don't know, but they look nice. Perhaps you can tell me at the end, but I'm not really a flower or plant man. I'm more of a vegetable man. Next one. Chickens. So, cleaned the chickens out last week, and what I do is I get a load of straw, chuck a load of bird seed in the middle, fold it all together and chuck it in. You can see them; they go absolutely mental for it. Love them to bits, but I'm surprised. I wish I had them years ago. Very, real good characters. Next one. It's leeks. So I used to grow a lot of leeks, but not so many these days. I haven't got the time. And then you can see in between the rows, I just got some carrots. So I try to utilize all the ground I've got. Just try and grow as much as I can. The leeks will probably be good enough for a couple of shows, but that'll be about it. But they'll taste nice, or I might save them for stock. Next one. That's another view of the onions at home on the other side of the greenhouse. Next one, mate. So Acer at home. Bought that probably about 4 or 5 years ago. It's just, I don't know a lot about Acers, but it just goes absolutely mental. And you open the inside of the Acer up and it's just pure green leaves. I take it that's scorching from the sun, but yeah, it's amazing. Next one. Chickens, so homegrown lettuce. Chickens go absolutely mad for it. I can put lettuce in there, and within 6 chickens, 10 minutes, it's gone. They're little dinosaurs. Next one. There's a picture of a few, like I said, flowers I'm growing to go out in the garden later. Okay, mate. So there's a mega bloom coming off one of the big tomatoes. So we'll see what that does when it opens up. If it looks decent, I'll set the fruit. I'll hand pollinate it with a paintbrush. If it doesn't look good, I'll cut it off and wait for the next level on the tomato plant. You normally find on big tomatoes, it's either the first set or the second set, you get a good mega bloom. But they're a bit early, so they probably wouldn't make September shows. But like I said, I've got cuttings off those, so that'll save the day. Next one, Nick. Some tomatoes grown over winter, look like they're spoiling. There's a competition to see how many tomatoes you get off one plant. So I started them, I think, around about December time. But anyway, next one, Nick. That's another bed. You can see where I am. I'm right in the middle of nowhere. I've got some fields and that, but just a bit of veg in there and some cabbage and broccoli will go in that little spot where the nasturtiums are. Okay, mate. That's one of my wife's plants. Don't know what it is, but it's just gone into flower. It looks nice. Next one. And there's some lettuce, Locca Rosso, I think. Lettuce that I've been picking. Well, you can see in the middle where I've put the young ones in. I picked them out and the chickens have been eating them, and some beetroot and spring onions. Next one. And there's a view from yeah, looking down. Some Swiss chard at the top one, some flowers and various bits and pieces. Okay, Mick. And that's it.
Thank you for that, Nick. Anybody got any questions for Nick while we've got hold on him?
Yeah, Nick, do you have to pinch dahlias out? I've obviously been growing them, I don't know, first time, but I don't know.
You can do. Depends if you're going to grow them for shows. So if you want to grow them for shows, you can, it's what they call stopping the plants.
Okay.
So you can stop them where they come out and fork out. You can take the tips out, and they become it's like most flowers or plants. If you take the tips out either side, it takes 2 or 3 weeks for that side shoot to grow again, and it gets bushier and bushier. A lot of I'm no expert here. Someone will correct me probably, but dahlias, if you're looking for a date, it's so many weeks you need where you pinch out so you get the blooms for the shows.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not showing them, so I think we'll be all right.
Oh yeah, if you want lots and lots of flowers to in vase or whatever, if you want a bigger show, pinch the centers out of each side shoot. It'll take 3 or 4 weeks for it to come through. 3 weeks this time of year, probably less though.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Good.
Anybody else?
Nick, you might say that those flowers that your missus likes, they're probably azaleas.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ones. So as I grow so much, I can't remember everything.
Yeah, they like acid ground. You know, they like.
Yeah, that's it.
soil.
Yeah. But it's certainly growing well anyway. It's quite a young plant. Sort of, she put it in as a remembrance for a cat that died recently. But yeah.
Nick, thanks for that, mate.
No worries.
Good man. Right, I'm going to find my wheel now. Here we am. Look at that. Straight to it. Right, troops, while I'm on this. If your name ain't on the wheel, to get on the worm wheel, you have to have registered for the Zoom by 6:45. That's the time I put the names on the wheel. And it only gives me the names, people that have registered. So if you register after that, your name don't go on the wheel. So let's get going. Also, I ain't forgot you from last week. Elaine, you nearly had that then. Right, where am I? There we go. Right, rock dust. What am I doing? I'm getting a fistful of rock dust, put it in my sieve. Smaller the granule, the better. Why? Because it's going in there. I'm going to use them as a spray, as a foliar feed. Don't forget, it's got trace elements and minerals because it's volcanic, which we ain't got up top. So I don't know big lumps in to block the spray. And what I'm going to do now for the next couple of weeks. So else you're going to get one of these in the post. Kilo of rock dust. And this week's winner as well. Sean. Basically, you can make yourself a spray as a foliar feed. Obviously, spray when the sun's off them. Or you can use that as a top dressing on one of your beds. Fistful of that, also good for the composting. So that'll sort them out. Aquilegia, these are 2 new ones I had. I'm alright. We're comparing them to the colours I've got my own. I'd rather have my own. Just showing you this, like in any other plant, I'm going to dead end these. Let's get more flowers on him, and there he is, ready. Them two will be going in the raised bed soon. Right, shallots. I'm going to thin these out. My thinnings, what I did last year, I ate them, and I should have kept them to make some pickled onions for our show. So some got 3, some got 6 and whatever, but they're all being, as you can see, I'm holding them 2 nice and firm and just pulling the spare one away. So I'm just leaving 2 on each plant. These are only for show, don't forget. It's 2 pickling and 2 exhibition. As you can see, the large ones and the small ones. So them lot are there. They'll be going in a tray and be dried off. Put on a bit of straw. Don't forget this is undercover, this lot. That's why these are drying out as well. So them are drying out there as well. Because they've just disturbed these slightly, I don't want to give them a check at all. So just as a sweetener, I'm going to feed them. Some of them blocks, wall blocks right off. John, Lynn asked us about large red poppy seed. These are the proper big red ones, dark red ones. Which are from my mother's. I forgot I took the seed. So I'm going to bung a few in here, see if it starts them off. As you can see, well, you know, poppy seed's small in the room. That's me. As you can see, I've got my goodies back. Cup of tea, breakfast, and the hound next to me while I read the paper. Right, Gladys, raised bed. A month ago or something, Nigel Cole mentioned to check my pH, as I've had pine needles. I did check it out, and mine, let's move on to there, was just under 6. The ideal pH is between 6.5 and 7 for Gladys, so I need to raise it slightly. So I've got another one in mind. Obviously, there's right yesterday down the shed mark. Lime is the one to book, it's calcium, the normal solution. But that's usually put on at the end of the year or the start of the year, ready to settle in. But I need a quick acting solution. And somebody, in fact, come to the shed yesterday, and I mentioned I did it with baking soda, which is the same as bicarbonate soda, both the same thing. You usually got one used for cooking, which we have. And it's a 1/4 teaspoon to a gallon. That's just to raise it slightly. On the other end of the scale, if you do have to lower your pH quickly, white vinegar in water is a quicker. That's 1 teaspoon per litre. Right, let's move along. Right, Gladys. I've done this, looks a bit complicated, but there's all my Gladys, my names. Florence Nightingale, Cairo of Singular Beauty. So orange with a yellow in it, Trader Horn, you know, all that lot. 162 Gladys, and then my trims 47. So you got to alternate your sowings. This is just timing them, so you're hoping to get something for the show. So each dollop I'm putting in, I'm picking out different corms, and that's where I'm going up the top garden. So these lot here. So that's the first lot going out. In fact, I think it was the 18th in the end. Oh. So that one, I'm just copying what's going out. So then I'm going to my garage where all the corms are. Spare tray. That's what I'm picking out. 40 candent. 2 Princess Margaret, 3 Velvet, 2 Cara, 3 Amy Brill, and 1 Odden. So I've got them all there. And them are in line as with that lot. They've all been DI'd. If just one shoot near the middle of the core, the strongest one. So I've got my vermiculite. These covers are going to come off. Got my hand fork, my mug of tea. So the straw is going in there. Got my labels ready. 6 inches apart. And I put my labels in where they're going to go. So I'll get 2 rows in. So I measure out equal. So there's me rows from there to there. So I'm doing and line them up. So I line up that way and this road. Just under 7. Perfect. And 4, get them out. It's about 5 inches deep. Fish full of vermiculite in the hole. Bung him in. If it ain't deep enough, once I've got it, then I'll top dress with more stuff just to lift them a bit. That's if you use a pot or anything like that, you can do exactly the same. So I'll bung them in line, fill him up, and then work my way across until they're all in.
Mick,
Yes.
What I do for the gladioli, I use a handful of coarse sand underneath.
Yep.
Put the comb in, and then another handful of coarse sand on top. And when you harvest the comb's clean, and the comblets are easy. It's going to get expensive when you start using that vermiculite.
I'll get it, Shep.
Oh, it's all right then.
I buy in bulk by the bag from our trading shed. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Bung it on top and all. I suppose I could do, yeah. Good thinking, good thinking.
What it also does, it also helps the ground, a little bit of sand in the ground as well.
Yeah.
And for me, that is.
Yeah. In the tunnel, top of the garden, I've got my onions, obviously. And I'm also going to bung some gladies on the front. Because I've got the height in the middle of the tunnel, more so than at the side. And I can get out to me easier as well. So I'm still getting my onions when these come out. Don't forget I've got a few gladies to get in. So exactly the same again. So where all my labels are here. Once they have been put out, then I've got the initials of the gladiator that's going out and the date. Obviously in here it's a bit warmer, it's going to be a bit better. So they're going to come earlier. But the same ones I've put out there, the same ones in here. So I'm just trying everything. So that's probably 3/4 of this side done. There. And there's my next lot, which is ready. Just going back on that one, you can see where I've got the potato peeler, getting the extra eyes out. You've got to get them right out, otherwise you'll have them spurting and all. I've had to move this shelf up to get me my cider in. John, you're my good lad. I've got to be chilled. I can remember in the mob when he was down at Portsmouth, we used to get paid fortnightly then, obviously cash in hand. But I think I had a bank then. I only had a building society. But obviously on a blank week when nobody's got any money, we used to go down the strip because there's loads of students there. They got a big polytechnic, exactly the same as them. They got no money, and the strip was all the scrumpy houses. When you used to get the dregs from obviously from the cider makers, but it was cloudy as hell. There was lumps in it and everything. And the first pint was vile, and you could either have a pint of blood, they put a drop of black currant in, or a drop of lemonade tops. But after the third one, it got a bit better. After the fourth one, you couldn't walk. And when I had a pint of this, it reminded me of that. I mean, cider bloody loopy juice anyway. I love it. John, you're a star, nearly finished. Second speaker, Kathy from Shrewsbury.
Thanks, Mick. Yeah, a few weeks ago, shared some slides, and I think Suzanne wanted to see some more of the chickens. So just for you, Suzanne, here's some chicken photos. That's my little one. He loves feeding the chickens, and better still, he likes collecting the eggs as well, and the dog as well. I think the chickens must still be in the hut. There we go. There's one of the dinosaurs. Next one, Mick, please. There we are. We've got 3 of them. The dark brown one's the boss. she bosses them all around, gets them all out of the way. She has the first peckings of the food. So I'm not too sure I don't know what breeds they are. We've got one that produces some blue eggs. So we have brown eggs and blue eggs. Quite nice, but I don't know one's a leg bar cross and possibly a Burford Brown, I think. I don't know. Not too sure what they are, but yeah, they lay well.
The Araucana lays blue eggs.
Sorry?
The Araucana.
Ah, right, okay.
So, yeah, they lay the blue eggs. They're also blue on the inside. It's the only egg that is.
Right, okay.
So they cross them to get the leg bars as well.
Right, okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
That's the eggs I get from Tesco's, them ones.
That's it, the expensive
Araucana
one.
or whatever it is, yeah. They're only about £2 something for 6. It's not that bad.
Yeah, they're nice. Yeah, next one, please, Mick. Yeah, and they're lovely eggs. They're really, sort of golden yolks. Really nice, really tasty. Next one, please, Mick.
There with a couple of soldiers.
Yeah, a couple of soldiers. Yeah. There you go. Next one, please, Mick. Yeah, there's my red acer. Yeah, it's all sort of come out in full glory now. There we are. Next one, please, Mick. And looks nice at night as well with a bit of light behind it. Next one, please, Mick. Yeah, and there's for you, Colin, the drums in the background. There's what used to be my summer house, but it's now a drummer house. So my husband has his drums in there. So he has tried various ways of insulating it for sound, but we haven't quite got there yet. But he's not too bad playing there. So he's all right. So yes, we've got some more aces outside there. We've got
So what a good thing to use for soundproofing is rock wall paneling. You can buy it in B&Q.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what we need, I think. Yes, we've got some aces on the outside, 2 either side, and then there's one in a grey pot at the front. I know Suzanne said she'd got one that was not sort of growing very tall, and that one in the grey pot, it seems to be sort of, it's almost like a ground cover. It's sort of, it's almost quite flat. So I don't think it's going to grow very tall, but whether perhaps that's what you've got, Suzanne, I don't know.
One I've got is a red one. That's never really grown that tall, but I think it's died now because it had massive ants nest in it.
Yeah,
and I took it out, and it's just not come back again. I mean, I have replenished all the compost and the ericaceous and everything.
Yeah,
I've given it a feed, but I've left it in the pot. I'm just hoping that it's going to come back again.
Yeah,
I'll have to see.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And I've got a cloud, it's like a conifer, a cloud conifer. So I'm going to repot that in a bit of a bigger pot. That's just to the right hand side of the dog. So just sort of clip that with scissors just to keep the shape, but that's quite nice as well. Next one, please, Mick. There we go. That's the acer again. Next one, please, Mick. There we go. That's that little acer there. It's different shape again. Next one, please, Mick. Yeah, they look lovely at night with a bit of light behind them. We've got like a light that comes on at night, and with all the leaves and everything, it all it looks quite. The light bounces off it. It's quite nice. Next one, please, Mick. Yeah, Paul wanted another photo with a full photo of the. I think is it the Trachycarpus? Paul, I think you were looking at. It's got flowers on it now. So at the very top, so these yellowy sort of orange flowers. It's just come out in flower last week. So, but yeah, it's just it's gone crazy. It must be the right spot for it. It must just being where it is. It's really grown huge. Next one, please, Mick. Yeah, and I bought a tree fern off Facebook, buy and sell. There was a lady that it had outgrown the space that she'd got, so I picked that up. That was a bit of a bargain. Next one, please, Mick. Yeah, it's got these little fronds coming out at the moment, so more leaves coming. Next one, please, Mick. Yeah, I've got another palm as well, and that seems to have taken off. I'm not sure what that one is, but that's gone a bit crazy as well. Next one, please, Mick. Yeah, when we moved into the house, we inherited this fig tree, and yeah, again, that's pretty huge. In the summer, it has like massive leaves, really big, and then they all fall off in the winter, and obviously we have to clean them all up. So great for composting there. Next one, please, Mick. Oh, and this is Brian, the therapy pony. I've got 2 children with disabilities, and once a month we have a visit from a therapy pony, and he comes round to the house and he eats the weeds. And next one, please, Mick. And there we go. He left us a little present. So
Like it.
the veggies. That's Mick. Thanks, Mick. Has anybody got any questions?
Thank you. Showing us the chickens.
Thank you.
I think that other palm you're on about, I think it's a cordial line.
Ah, right. Okay.
By looking at it from a distance, it looks like a cordial line.
Okay. Thanks, Paul.
It's a few-year-old to get that
This
big.
one, yeah, it is.
I reckon at least 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
They'll dig it up for God's sake.
Okay. No, it's staying where it is.
Brilliant pictures.
Thank you.
Anybody got any questions for Kathy? You've covered everything, Kathy. Thank you for that.
Thanks very much.
Grill. Right, greenhouse. These lot have got to go out. The smell walking in here now is a super nice bit of colour. Let's see if we can transfer. So most of these, majority of this lot's going out. Obviously in the raised bed. There. Bosley baby, Lavateria. These are just starting to bloom now, which, well, it is that one. This was with the 3 trials of different compost, alternative crop. So let's get him out, and that's where I'm going to go. So if you remember that one there, I think I've got a photo of him. When I put these in, there's only 2 that come, meaning there's one there. There's a trellis for him. I had these from Wilco. And there's another one there. I had 2 that come out of 3. We'll come on to them in a bit. But they turn into this one. Gloriosa. It's like a flame, supposedly. We'll see how it goes. So slowly planting these out. Now my bougainvillea obviously is in a pot, so I've planted the pot so it doesn't block him out, which is ideal. Meaning end of the season I'll just lift the pot, clean it off, and bung him back in the greenhouse, because otherwise the cold's going to job him, and then bunging everything else out. Next thing to go out, be trailing petunias, scented, beautiful. Space them out, separate the colours. Right, because I did top dress this, and it's dropped again. Well, as you noticed there, exactly the same as when I put stuff in hanging baskets or something. Because I want him to come over the side, showing a bit of roots here, so I'm adding more compost mixed with soil, just to earth this back up against these. I can always add later on. In fact, I might do it again next week before I top dress with straw. So these lot are going out. In fact, I'll just put another dollop and then top dressed again. So it's just the front and the sides of the trailing. don't need them on the back. The next one to go out of me dwarf marigold, a tiger, when that seed removes, which is an old favourite. Plus is a yellow that I haven't got in any other colour. And then because they forecast rain, I'm going to water. I usually get it wrong. Right, slowly getting there. That's what it looks like from upstairs window. That was zoomed in, that's why it's a bit unblurred. These cracks opened up again. I remember originally I got some Ronsil wood filler, expandable, so I put some more in. And the next door neighbours, I got to do his waiting, went on holiday this morning. And his missus always got washing out. And I have to do this in between getting washed out. So I can do it this week. I rub this lot down and wallop it in green, wash it again. But I ain't going to fill that anymore if it goes again. Right, Scott, here. He's gone away somewhere. So he's giving me a write-up. If he was here, he'd have put it in. Sweet potato plugs he had from Marshall's. One didn't survive, so he complained and he got a full refund. That worked well. Good thing of sweet potatoes now, when I did mine first time, I had to use slips, and you can get them now as plugs. Just pot them up in small pots as you done there. Yeah, there's a plug. Perfect. Better than having a slip, because I had to use your root trainers. In fact, I might do a piece next week. If anybody's interested in doing sweet potatoes, I will. I'll make a note. Sweet. Spud. Right. Daily cuttings, 4 out of 4. Success rate normally only gets 1 or 2. So he had 4 on there. Good lad. Thank you for that, Scott. All the way warrior. Had another little parcel. Bloody doctor now. Gordon Bennett. It was 2 mugs. Off our Ben. He's doing these for the Platinum Jubilee. He's back home now for the weekend. He come last night. He did his market stall. I forget where it was. But he had a Boston day, obviously, with all the tourists. And these was going like hot cakes. These are $3.60 postage. £10 a mug. Or £30.60. Anybody interested? Drawmytown.com. You can get them off there. But the tourists love them. I thought he'd sent them for me and Pet. Put them for Jeffrey. Jeffrey's going to pick them up when he comes to the show. He's a good lad. Right, down the shed yesterday, me and Mark, straight away. And Craig, who's got bees on site, he bought me some jars of honey to flog from the trading shed. He says, come and have a quick nose, because he's trying in there as well. First of all, I just sorted his grape out, that pruning. Went to prune and whatever, so I sorted that out, and then he showed me around. Now the growing medium he's using is superb, and it's another manure one, which I say, well, no, I've never tried it, I've never seen it. Because at home, he's got, I think he got rid of his snakes, but he's got rats. He breeds rats. And he's trialing the rat crap.
No, Mick, he breeds snakes, and he gives the rats to the snakes.
Is that's right?
That's
Good,
it.
good man, but his brew here underneath, I mean, you can see everything's growing well. So I lifted that tray, because this, obviously it's dry on the top, and it looks like spent ops, but it just goes down a bit, and it's superb stuff. You can see the worms in it. There's hordes on them. So I says, right, there's a bit of protection there, lift that cover up, and he did. And under there, there's even more for them lot there. So it's a bloody good brew. But he's still trying to get the ratio right. Russ says, well, you're way further off now from what you're doing. Right, another third speaker, Mark, from around the corner.
I do.
Cheers, Mark. All yours, mate.
Yeah, so these are the front hanging baskets. I've struggled the last couple of years because they dry out so quick on the front with the wind. So I got a new Koya liner for them this year. A bit of damp-proof plastic. Cut it, put some holes in it. I thought I'll stick that inside, and then that's some alpaca muck that was passed on to me, and I thought I'll stick that in the bottom of that. Anything to try and hold on to the moisture. So next one, Amy. And then it's just clover compost from over the trading sheds mixed with vermiculite. Put that on top, firm it in a bit. Next one, Mick. And these, and I've got this water gel. I've had it for years in the shed. I thought I'll shake a bit of that, mix it in with the compost. Anything to try and hold on to the moisture. And then them are a couple of the plants that we've put in. One's a fuchsia. And what's the other one? What's that say? Calabrese or something like that. And for everybody like me that struggles with like the names of plants and stuff, I had a little nose upstairs, and if anybody can see it, this is Plants Names Simplified, a little book I've got. I borrowed that from the library at college when I was there. Don't tell them, because I don't know how much it cost me in a fine now, but I've still got the book. But that's really good because it it tells you how to say them properly. Because I know we all struggle sometimes, don't we?
I do.
So that's a cracking little book. But yeah, next one, Amy. And that's it planted up. Now, what's that green trailing stuff? I think is it Creeping Jenny? That I think. The wall
Creeping Jenny, yeah.
Yeah. And I like that. Anything that comes over the side of the baskets. So the fuchsia's in the middle, and then it's just alternate round the outside with Creeping Jenny and flowers. Because the last couple of years I've done begonias, and I got a bit bored of them, to be fair. So this year I thought we'll go back and do something a little bit different, a bit more traditional. So, well, I'll put the baskets around the front. We'll see how long they last unless somebody nicks them. You never know around here. Okay, Amy.
I did look into that one, but I was thinking of trailers for me raised bed. As soon as I mentioned the name,
I think it gets quite long. I think you know about 2 or 3 foot if he goes for it. So we'll see.
I've got that at the front of my house on a rockery, and it's literally it's well more than 2 or 3 foot. It's taking over the we've got like the rockery by the house, and then we've got all the tarmac where the cars are, and it's literally spreading right across the tarmac. I'll have to take some pictures. It's gone berserk. It must be 6-10 foot. I don't know. Wow. It just goes mad. If you leave it to its own devices, it does go berserk.
Okay, yeah. Well, I might try and save some of it at the end of the season and see if
just
we can
put it. Yeah, just try and put it. If you put it anywhere, it'll just grow.
Okay, stuff.
It's mad. Yeah, and mine's been in for quite a few years now. But last year it had beautiful yellow flowers on it.
Oh, right,
and it never flowered before, and it was gorgeous.
Okay. Well, that's something to look forward to.
I don't know how long it takes, but because I've never had them before, and I've not had them since. But so last year it had beautiful yellow flowers on it. Smothered in it. Yeah.
This is a picture out the bedroom window of our garden. As you can see, to the left of us, they ain't bothered about the garden now. They cut it once a year if I'm lucky. It's about 70 foot long by 26 foot wide, something like that. Got my greenhouse in. I like anything big and green and leafy. And we got the Fittinia hedge that was borrowed from work, a piece at a time, and it's finally thickening up. But my edge cutter's packed up, so I've got to get that fixed before I can give it a bit of an haircut. And you can just see ET sat on the patio there, looking back at the house. Next one, me. And this is me raised pond, so it's a cattle drinking trough, 6 foot long. Initially, I just wanted it so I could put some water plants in, but Laura turned around and says, "Oh, can we have some fish?" So we've got fish in it now. But interesting, I've got, this is a dwarf iris, and I had a normal iris at the other end, but it got too big last year. So when I dug the pond on the allotment for the ducks, I put the yellow iris, the bigger iris, in the pond. Now, last year I got a photo of this, and both irises were in flower at the same time. But this year, the yellow iris that I've put in the pond on the allotment is in flower and has been for a week or so. But the dwarf iris here in this pond, which is blue, I can't even see any flower spikes on it at all. So I don't know what I've done to it or not. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm hoping it flowers, because when it does, it really does look nice. But we'll just see. I'll give it another couple of weeks and see what happens. On the wall, we've got these half moon baskets. So when we went the other day and I bought the flowers and plants for the front baskets, I forgot I got these 3 on the wall at home. So in the end, we just got some normal marigolds. There's just a bit of colour on the wall because they dry out really quick, these. I did the same, alpaca muck and then clover mixed with vermiculite in there, and some of that water gel. And at the minute, that seems to be holding the water well. So we'll see how we get on with it. The 2 pots to the left have got, I think are they violas, or the small pansies? They've been in all winter, and it's a shame to kick them out at the minute because they're still flowering away quite nicely. So we'll see how long they last, and then I don't know what we'll put in there. I'll end up the garden centre again and buy something nice. Next one, Mick.
Suzanne, you got your hand up for a question? Or do you want to go to the loo?
No, it's me.
That's Liz.
It's me.
She borrowed my link.
I wonder what exactly you put in the baskets before you put the plants in.
So that's just a Koya basket liner on that one, and I hadn't got any plastic to line them with. So it's a Koya liner,
yeah,
with alpaca muck in the bottom, and then clover mixed with vermiculite and that water gel crystals.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've just bung the whatever they was in the top. Forgot. Marigolds in the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Lovely. So that's the top of my steps, looking up the lawn. I've had 2 attempts at weed and feed on the lawn because I didn't buy enough, and I got run out halfway down, and then I couldn't remember where I got to, so I've had to wait a few weeks and then try it. But you can see just at the bottom right, that's where our bulldog loves to go and have a wee, and she's like Predator, and she's just killed it stone dead. I've dug it over, I've composted it, I've seeded it, I've tried everything, and I've got to the point where I just think I'll give up. If that's the only bit of the lawn that she's going to kill, I can deal with that bit. But if you zoom in a little bit, Mick, you'll see I've got 3 fruit trees in the top corner. The left one's a nice eating apple. The right one's the middle one at the back is a damson. That's took about 8 years to get going. And the front right is another apple tree, but it's a bit more of a tartier apple. But it's okay if you're doing apple crumbles and bits and pieces. And on the back is a grape. Last year was the first year I had any fruit off it. And then when I went to pick it, it had gone. The bloody birds had ate it. So we'll try again this year and see what we can get out of that. But right behind the big tree at the very back, the other side of the fence, that's a pear. But luckily, it hangs over our back fence, so I get a decent picking of the pears off that every year. So that's a bit of a freebie, that one. But yeah. Next one, me.
Perks, mate.
Perks. And this is looking obviously back down towards the greenhouse. Just to the left of the pergola, that's my banana. That was when I first had my banana. A chap at work, he gave me 2 pups about a foot tall, about 5 years ago, something like that. And that's one of those initial ones that I planted. And look at the size of that now. The leaf's up and over the greenhouse. That leaf's got to be 4.5 feet in length. And I planted it there deliberately thinking, get big leaves on it. In the summer, it will shade the greenhouse. So that'll just give me the dappled shade, stop the sun being too intense. And it is doing the job. And all I do, end of the year, which I did a thing a couple of months ago, didn't I, showing you with them, I just get my bread knife out the drawer, go out, and you can just see where the brown goes to the green. Just get the knife and just chop it straight off. Put a little wire cage around it, a bit of straw, and then put a bin bag just over the top to stop the worst of the rain or moisture, snow, getting down onto the top of it. And he's popped up again this year, loves it. The base of it's got to be 6, 7, possibly even 8 inches across now at the base. So he's getting a big chap, this one. And then on the slab just to the bottom right of the pergola, that's a canna, I think it is. I don't know whether it's called Carnival or Cleopatra, something like that. And you get a mix of yellow, red, orangey flowers.
Cleopatra.
Now, Cleopatra. I had 2 of these and I lost one, but this one I've overwintered in that pot in the greenhouse, and he's coming well now. I'm not. I don't know really. Can you split these at the end of the year, or how do you because he's getting too big? Can you just cut him in half, or is there a way that you split him? I'm not. I don't really know with these.
Do it in the spring.
You should have done them in the spring. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And how do you go about it? Do you just literally put the spade through the middle of it, or is it a bit more?
I just put a tarpaulin sheet down and just put the spade through them and split them. That's how my husband does it for me.
So, and do that in the spring then, yeah?
Yeah, before they're starting to grow really.
Okay, well, that's great stuff. Then I'll know what to do with that then next year. Yeah. So thank you for that, guys.
We'll all have a cutting of that different one that you've got, the California one I haven't got.
Right. Okay, right.
Mark,
next one then. Go on.
With your hanging baskets, they always say that the small ones dry out quicker than the bigger ones.
Yeah.
I put plastic in mine.
Yeah.
Make a bowl at the bottom, and then partway up that, I put some drainage holes.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's got it holds the water like a saucer.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea actually. I should have thought of that really. So I'll do that next year. Too late this year, but I'll do it next year.
Good thinking, huh?
Yeah, good thinking. Next one, Mick. Thank you. So this is inside of my greenhouse this year. I was a bit late starting stuff, and with work lately, one day I forgot to open the door of the greenhouse. It went red hot. I come back and all my tomato seedlings was just gone, finished. So we had to do a run to the nurseries the other day. I bought a couple of tomatoes. So I've got 3 tomatoes on the right, and then on the left I've got a normal sized cucumber, a cherry tomato, and then a baby cucumber on the far left. And at the end of the greenhouse, I've still got bits and pieces that I haven't put out yet. So I've got 2 banana pups that I'm trying to grow on a bit. I've got a wisteria that I'm trying to grow on. Couple of things for the allotment, courgettes and squashes that need to go out. And then I've got 2, I don't even know whether they're collards or cabbage. I've got 2 spare, and I thought, I'll just bung them in the bed at the end. And they're doing really, really well. So it just fills the space. It does me a favour because I haven't got any staging in this greenhouse, and it's at that time of year where you've got stuff that you need to plant in the floor in the greenhouse, but you can't get I haven't got the room for the stuff I would normally have in trays on the floor, so it's awkward really. I've got to do something next year and try and build a frame or staging, so perhaps I could plant under it, and then as that's growing, it gives me a chance to have stuff on the top, but we'll see what we can do next year. Next one, Mick. So this is I love this. So this is my T-Rex, my Tetrapanics. I worried through the winter because they are root hardy, but I always panic, because he's quite a nice big statement specimen plant, but he's popped back into life now. Nice leaves of about 12, 14 inches across. Hopefully he'll get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger till the leaves get 4 or 5 feet in width, and it might just block the neighbours out as well and do me a favour with that. But what I have done is I've underplanted him with some hostas, which I love anything green like that. I think that's brilliant. But my dad gave me some crocosmia that he'd split at the beginning of the year, and I have interplanted the hostas with some crocosmia, and it is just showing. So whether I get any flowers on that this year, I don't know. But it might just give a little pop of colour between the green if it does pop up. So if I get my way, this bed's going to get wider, and we're going to have bananas and some more greenery. But we'll see. We'll see what Laura says. I don't know. Next one, Amy. And then this is on the opposite side of the garden. So this is beautiful. This is a room. I think it's an ornamental rhubarb, and it seems to get big green leaves, and then the next year the leaves aren't so big, but then look at the flower shoot that it's sent up, and I presume it's just like a normal rhubarb. If it's been dry, they want to go to flower, go to seed, don't they? So this is what and that's about 8.5 foot tall at the minute to the top of that. But I just think it's a lovely architectural plant. And again, I've got it underplanted. There's a heuchera, Virginia, there's a peony the other side, and a hosta. But this blacky burgundy plant, I've got no idea what it is. It was a pound in a pot from somewhere, and I split it, and it just takes over. It literally does. It pops up through the lawn if you're not careful. It's got a tiny little yellow flower on it, but it's lovely because it just fills the gap. And that's what I like. If you're going to do a border, I don't like to see soil if I can help it. So to me, that just takes care of itself. And I've got height, I've got depth of colour. So yeah, again, I would like to make this wider. I'm going to end up with no grass. You can see it's what's happening, can't you? You're going to end up with borders everywhere. Next one, Mick.
That colour goes with these lot though, doesn't it?
It's just something different in it. It's a depth of colour. The green stands out in front of it as well, doesn't it? So I like me leafy stuff. Anything leafy, that's what I like.
Yeah.
Again, that's going back to the banana by the pergola, and you can see the pergola is 7 foot tall, and he's well above that now. But if you zoom in at the bottom, Mick, right down there. So round the base of it, I've got these are, I think that's an alstroemeria on the far right. That was a cutting that my dad gave me, and I bunged him in. And then right round the bottom is crocosmia that my dad gave me, and that's popping up. But the top dressing that I've got there, that's from my compost bin at home, and I'm not as good at composting as you. I just bung it in and see what happens. And that's about 2 years worth of compost, and it's not been done properly. It's just mainly grass cuttings, vegetable peelings, and a bit of guinea pig muck or something that from Laura's guinea pig. But I just thought I needed to empty the bin down a little bit, so I've slapped it all over the top there, and he's doing well. So it's got to have something in it, hasn't it? It's got as a top dressing. It's got to have some elements that will, pass on to the plant. So we'll see. Puts the weeds down as well, doesn't it? That's another thing. Next one, Mick, see if we've got any more. Oh, that's that picture of that canna again. I think it's I just love the colours of the leaves. I do. The flower's secondary for me. The colours of the leaves. But you got the burgundy, the green. The variegation in it. I just think that's lovely.
Nigel, question? Nigel, got your hand up, mate.
You're muted, Nigel.
He's excited, eh?
Yeah, he'll come back at the end then, won't he? Any more, Mick? And that's one of my banana pups. That's not the one that I took end of last year. That was one I took the year before. And that stood down on the patio by the barbecue. And you can see That's a 5-foot fence panel on the gravel board, and he's above it, so he's 6'6" at the minute. But if you look right at the bottom, he's throwing a couple of little pups at the bottom there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and give them another 4, 6, 8 weeks, and then we'll try and have those off that, and see if we can get another couple out of him. I love them, love bananas. I could have them everywhere in the garden. So next time. And so that's me gunner. Loved the gunner. It was interesting the other day on Facebook. I'm part of one of the groups is a hardy tropicals group in the UK, and they were saying gunners in pots, they do okay. Well, this has been in that pot now 5 or 6 years, and he's bursting out that pot. He needs to go into something bigger or go into the ground. And I know Paul on here says, "Oh, plant it in the garden, plant it up the corner." Great. So I was going to do that, and then somebody said, if you plant one of these in the garden and it interferes with the boundary or pops up next door, which it will do because he's a brute, you're in for. You can be in some serious trouble for doing it. So now I'm a little bit. I don't know where to do. I don't know what to do with him. I need to do some research, but I'm wondering, as it's like it goes back to like a corm or something when it dies back at the end of the year, whether there's a way that I could cut it in half or split it into 2 or 3.
You can split it with a spade, Mark.
You reckon I could do that then? Yeah.
There's a bloke on our allotment. He's got about 6 or 8 of them all over the show. He has.
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing, what he's done and all, is, the blue water barrels.
Yes.
He's cut one of them off, put a bit of drainage in the bottom, and sunk the whole lot in the ground.
Right, so he's stopping it from the roots from spreading, but it looks like he's planted.
Yeah.
So I might. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm going to have a go at splitting him because he's getting to the point where he's not going to do any. He's not doing well in there because the growing medium in there is exhausted everything. So I've got to try and do something with him because it's a shame, really.
Today.
Yeah, exactly. He's pot bound basically, and I've got to do something. And you can just see ET to the side of him. Look, he's great, ET.
Little face.
Look at his little face. He had googly eyes on him when we had him, but they fell off. Next one, mate. What did we just say this was? Is a Chinese fan palm, Trachycarpus, is it? Trachycarpus. A chap bought this at work for his missus, and a day want it. So I says, I'll give 20 quid for it. And now I've got him in the pot, and he's going well. But on our front, I've only got like a little half moon lawn. So I'm seriously thinking about bunging him in the front garden, in the lawn, just to give a bit of something, because the front of our house looks so plain compared to the back garden. I think he might do quite well there. But for 20 quid, I mean, look at the size of him. He's great, isn't he?
Nice.
Next one, Nick. And then this was just some at Saf come up on Facebook the other day. So I know you like your little signs and stuffness like that, Mick, so I thought I'd send it to you.
Good one.
I think that's all of them anyway, mate. Eh?
Yep.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cheers for that, Mark. Anybody got any questions for him on his tropicals?
Mark?
Yep.
Lysimachia or firecracker? Joe says that foliage with a little yellow flower.
Oh, right, okay, then sound. I'll Google it now. Cause...
It's Lysimachia or Creeping Jenny.
Yeah, okay. Because when I just seen it and I knew it trailed, but it hadn't got no labels in when we bought it. But I have seen it or had it before, but I thought I'll have to Google that, see what exactly it is. But no, great stuff. Thanks, guys.
Mark, the problem with your dog on the lawn. Look at dog rock. You can get it off Amazon. You put it in the dog's water bowl.
It's just
okay.
And apparently it stops the grass from being destroyed.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I'll have a look at that because I always thought it was dogs that killed the grass, not bitches, but
Oh,
sheep.
bitches are the worst. We've always had bitches here. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can find it on under the, in that category for dogs.
Okay, I'll have a look at that. Anything, because it's costing me a fortune, the compost and seed. And I've tried. You can buy certain seed online, that's meant to be ideal.
It is
dog rocks.
It is dog rocks, yeah.
Dog rocks. Okay, thanks for that. I'll have a look at that. Thank you.
Okay, mate.
Austin Dave.
Yeah.
Any more questions for Mark before he legs it? He's got to go to church.
Lovely. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Mark. Right, Wednesday just gone. This was a talk, Newbold Verdant Garden Club. This was in Leicester. I gave him a talk on compost. And obviously with my bins, I have layers of carpet on top. Straight away they come up, because there's a few on the allotment side. This is carpets banned on that side. I says, bloody hound's trying to get in. Sorry, grandchild. But it was a good turnout. And I says, well, Wilco are flogging the SEN sacks, as you can see here. So if you can't use carpet, use an SEN sack, or that one there, or even an old blanket. Get away with it that way. But another good talk that went down well. That's the new one I bought from Wilco. Like that one at the back is for me dahlia, which I have Scott, me poo dahlias. Because then will be the tallest at the back, and these two I saw in Wilco and I thought perfect. So I'll job them, and that's what it looks like. I don't think I'd already got him in, but I have. Deadheading, obviously everything around them, and I'm ticking all the old ones on. They're going to seed down. Them sweet peas I've tied up twice. There's the way to them when they get a bit of rain on them. But there's always something coming out now, like these yellow poppies. It's a different colour. Like this.
The Welsh poppies, Mick.
Oh, thank you,
Welsh
sir.
poppies.
This is fading now, and these are coming out, which is always good to see. But best year I've ever had with these, as you can see. The old ones there. I'm cutting them off and saving the seed. Compost. Right, I'm making a mixture for my canners. Rid up on it, and there's clover compost, bit of topsoil, and a bit of meat in them, i.e. my compost. Obviously I'm going to take the worms out first. Bigger pots than what my canners are in now. I've got big holes in this pot, so I'll just put a bit of newspaper underneath, stop the compost dropping out. These are what I've Sue and Dave. I know Paul's are more advanced, because I'll get him a couple. Or his missus for a birthday, I think. But I took after them a bit for me. It's my first year with them, but I love them already. Exactly the same as what Mark's got. The variegated leaf. Sometimes it's even better than a flower. The bonus with these, you get flowers with them as well. So them lot are going into there. Well, singular. Because he was a bit miscue, not on the centre, I'm going to put my pot off centre, so when I do put him in, it ends up in the centre, if that makes sense. And that one, instead of going upright, going a bit haywire, so I put my pot in the same shape as him. So when I plant him out, he'll be nice and straight as well. Just firm him round the outside. I don't push these down. And then I just compost earth up around it. Bung my labels back in and give him a nice drink. So that should pick these up a bit now. But love them. Shalimar, these are Prim Gladney. I've found another packet out. Got all them out. Took the old skins off. And we've seen there. There's large ones or large than these. These are the babbies, so I'm putting the lot out. I know I'm a bit late with these. In fact, I'll put another lot out this afternoon. But that's the last of them. But if you get a good one, then save them and shell them out for a nice, beautiful red one with a black streaking. So I'll get them soaking. And the last lady Helen, that's another prim with get out of it.
Yellow flower, Mick.
Correct. I was trying to get rid of that rubbish on the top. I couldn't get rid of it. Right, this is a good pink one, mine obviously. So I've got to skin these down, help them out. Give me a cup of coffee. There we are. Help them out. Take all the hard skins off. Another good pink one. Then I looked at my mug. I thought, what the bloody, used to have bloody toad out in the bottom. Gordon Bennett. Celine Prim Sue. It's another good one. White pink ruffled. That's what I've done today. Obviously I don't know the name, so that's what I've given. But I like to see a ruffled flower on some of them. Superb yellow. These ones I only had the one core. These were one off. That's why I've kept the corners off them. Right, Gloriosa. This is that flame plant where I had two come. And this is the one that didn't, as you can see there, it got bloody rotten. So I'm sure somebody said earlier on it was sliced through that, i.e. getting rid of the crab. So I'll get my old mesh slicer, which is a razor blade, cut clean through. So I've got rid of the rubbish. It is nice and clean that side, obviously. So I'm going to try him again. I ain't got the propagator going, but we'll see if it goes, if it don't, whatever. Right, I've got my 2 runner beans going top of the garden. It's now time to put 2 more beans in. And then a month later, I shall put 2 more in. Scar down, look into the soil. Although with the kids up at school, you put them in anyway, I'm still going to grow. Whether they come down and up. But 2 beans I want. And there's a dirty carrot. 2 dirty carrots. Right, Richard Easton sent me these photos. This is a compost trial he's doing. Lidl. I think he found this in Lidl. Peat-free compost. And he sent me the instructions on both of them. This product contains a blend of sustainable natural materials and recycled materials. It may therefore occasionally contain sharp objects, as it is advisable to always wear gloves when handling this product, which we've noticed in most of the non-peat or peat alternatives. But he opened it, got a bag up, opened it up, and he said it looks a good brew, which it don't look too bad there, but some of the ones I've had. But Richard, if you can keep us up to date on how you go with that. Well, has anybody else tried it? I think sure he said it was Lidl. And that one is a close-up of an housefly, believe it or not. So next time I see a little chap whizzing around,
that's incredible.
See if you can, it's great, ain't nature? Weird and wonderful. Right, I had an email during the week. Please come back and talk to us on making excellent compost. Shrewy and District Garden Club, dear Mick, hope you're well. You came to see us in 2019 and people are still talking about it. Thank you very much. I just wondered if you could come back to us. I'm going back anyway. I've sent a couple of emails we wrote. So I'm going there. This is Shrewy. I was asked why I only charge 50 quid a talk. I said, I said, as long as it costs me fuel and whatever, and, you know, I make a bit of money. It's just to help our gardening clubs I've had 3 garden clubs fold already this year because speakers are getting more scarce and them putting them bloody prices up. Some of them are going over the limit. Like, I had another email from her. I contacted a speaker from Barnsdale Garden, Leicester Way, to do a talk, and they said it was 500 quid plus travel at 60p a mile. Bugger. Jeff Hamilton will return in his grave. It is a disgrace. Robbing buggers, basically. But I'm going to talk to them. And that is Wednesday the 9th of November this year. I think it's one of the... they give me that date and then there's loads of dates next year. But I think I've got a talk night before, night after. So it's glad I can fit that one in. From. That's near Leamington Spa, Shrewy. I've googled it. I can't remember going to the place. Oh, it was 219. So looking forward to that one. And there's the place. I always Google it. Sometimes I recognise it, sometimes I don't. But looking forward to that one. Who sent me this one? Steve, was it you? Might have done. Cheeky Buggers, Compost King, Multi-Purpose Compost. They've nicked me bloody name. And me crown. 13 quid. The good thing about this, when you Google it, my book comes up as well. So it gives you the prices of all the compost and who flogs it. Because you've got Compost King, I come up, so they're advertising me as well. Thank you very much. So I ain't going to say nothing. Ben says you need to buy a bag just to have a look. And then you can job them both ways. Paul put this on during the week. That's a good one. I don't know how they do it. Is it just a copy of a photo or I don't know. Right, the missus, because they're already got a hobby, is having things done. Spring cleaning, and is getting rid of me bloody burper gun and my spear. That's my last bit of. Right, my spear was from Freetown in Sierra Leone. This. I'm trying to think of the year I was there. I can't remember. Nah. But we just berthed up just a few up, and the locals there was flogging us coconuts. They caught them in canoes. They even flogged us monkeys. That was another story. But I had a spear off them, and that's what I brought back there. Monkeys there last long. And the burper gun, what I call it, that was went to Casablanca. We had a trip to Marrakesh. I think it was in '69 I went there. But then it was a right dive. Place stunk. So there them, I've had a moon and a proper burper rifle a little bit. So that's gone on the bloody lot. And I took some photos while we're there. They're there in action. And they put a display on for us. Well, for the tourists. So we gate crash the tourists. And then they've just fired them off. Tribal warriors. And that's Marrakesh itself. But, I suppose it's changed now. A little bit better. Right, bottom toilet, bit of colour there. Doug's been in a little pot that's opened up. I've bunged him in the bottom bog. Right, 2 beans I put in. Clover compost and my compost. Still trialing. Somebody's got the speaker on. Interference. Right, 2 beans put in. That's near about the same height. Same plants as it, but all I want to do is have a perv underneath. Right, there's my compost. You can still see the lumps in it. This one was after 3 weeks, meaning the lumps will hang on to the moisture, water, and oxygen. Nice, white, thick roots. Clover. nice white thick roots on the bottom. Not so good as mine, as we can see there. Let's see if we can get a close up on my roots. Luckily this come out. I thought they might have come out blurred, but getting away with it. These hyphae roots coming out the side, that's what you get if you use mycorrhizal fungi. I'm using my own mycorrhizal fungi in the sense that it's in my ingredients in my compost, and that's what's dragging these hyphae roots out. Superb. That's what I want. Once you get your hyphae roots out, then these other roots will come out of those roots. Perfect. Ben's back home again, luckily. He's sorted me out with a few things. He sorted me Zoom out, which played up a couple of weeks ago. And it weren't our end, it was their end. So we went down Mary Stevens Park this afternoon, took the hound down for a walk, and went for a cuppa, and had dog ice cream, loves it. Well, it was our grand trial, so we just spoiled that. Look at her little face. I should have tried some of that before I heard it. There's only one who had ice cream. Lidl this morning, fruit trees, $9.99. And then well established, just all fruit. I don't think they would last long. Well, I know they had 2 trays out the back as well. And that may well be it. Oh, that's it, people. Anybody got any questions on anything that's ever come up? Don't forget, if you see any alternative compost that nobody else has tried, if they're cheap enough, just try them out. Let us know how you get on.
Has anybody tried the new Humax formula? I've had some, and I'm getting on really well with it. But I haven't had any feedback from anyone else that's using it. But I'll get on. It's growing wonderful stuff for me.
Yeah.
I ain't seen no Humax about being flogged. I used to have it for the trading sheds years ago, so I started putting the rubbish in.
Well, it's nothing like how it used to be. It's quite rough and lumpy, and the only problem is that you do have to break it up. It's compacted. But
that's compaction when they pack them on the pallets.
Once it's broken up, I'm finding it's growing everything nice.
Yours from a nursery? Do you get your
I got it from what is it? Brookside Nursery up at Hints, and that's the only place that I've ever seen selling it, to be honest. And so I just wondered if anybody else had come across it, And if anybody does come across it, I recommend they try a bag. It'd be interesting to get some feedback from somebody else.
Yeah.
What was the price of that one? How many litres?
It's.
Do you remember?
I think it's. I don't know if. No, it's 60 litres, and I can't remember the price. It was reasonable, about £6.
Yeah.
A bag.
That's about the average price,
Yeah. It wasn't too wasn't extortionate. Let's put it like that.
So what is Humax? Is it just like a form of compost, or
just
a brand?
Compost.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I never really took much notice of it. Didn't know what it was.
Years ago, it's one of the best composts about, and they allowed them to put alternatives in.
I think they had some at Roguismic the other week.
They have quite a bit there, don't they?
Yeah, I think he had he got a pallet a pallet of the stuff there the other week when we was there.
There's definitely wood fibre in it, which doesn't particularly look good when you open the bag. But when you come to grow it, the wood fibre, it soon turns to mycorrhizal, and it's honestly, I'm getting good results with it. I'm very pleased with it. I should buy some more.
Take some photos of it, Colin, for next week.
Do what, mate?
Have you still got some compost loose?
Hang on, there's two. We're talking at the same time.
Listen to me, it's all right.
Have you still got some compost loose that you ain't used yet?
Yes, yes.
Bung a couple of photos on next week.
I'll open a fresh bag and go.
For the dry medium.
Okay. That's if my camera's sorted out. I'm having
Oh.
problems.
What I was going to say, Colin, it's better having wood fibres than plastic.
Yes, certainly. Yeah.
Oh.
And stone.
How did you get on with your bathgate, Col?
No, good, mate. I've stopped looking, to be honest. Every source that I found, it proved to be too expensive. So
yeah,
I just can't get out of it locally at all. And,
Inputters next week, we got Rowley and Colin.
Right.
Chris Evans, give us a couple of photos update, and you, Neil. You said you bunged them on a couple of weeks ago. Right, you've got some and all, are you, soon? Your speaker's off, mate.
You say again, Mike. Whatever.
I'll get you some shortly, yeah.
Good man. Cheers, Ray.
I'll have some pictures soon. I'm just tidying it out first before I give you pictures.
Oh. Even if it's just a couple of photos.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get them out.
Right, I'm off to do some watering, folks. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I've got to go to church.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you all.
Thanks for the speakers. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheerio.
Cheeps.
See you all.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye now.
Bye now. Bye.